What's up, guys? Blackwing2040 here, and I just want to say I'm so sorry for the huge league of absence. I've been gone for a while, but of course, with school starting and everything, and it's just life is hitting me hard. But I'm happy to be back, and let's continue our round with videos. Today's video, as you can see, I'm wearing my Marvel shirt today. We're gonna be doing my top 10 Avengers. I know, cause the Avengers is just like the Justice League, but the Avengers there's a whole lot more, and I mean a lot. Believe that. So without further ado, let's start our list. We'll work from ourselves from the bottom all the way to the top, from 10 to 1. So number 10, and here's the reason why I have number 10 like this. Number 10, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Now let me explain this. Both of them are twins because there's a point of having both of them together. Wherever one goes, the other one follows. If that's right. I mean, there were some moments where Scarlet Witch was on the team and Quicksilver wasn't, but overall, both of them together, they're like that. They're twins. They love each other. They care for each other. Mostly Scarlet Witch is the one that keeps Quicksilver in check. And plus, their powers are so amazing. Even Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch changed reality. Does anyone not remember the House of M storyline? I never read it, but I heard about it, and I know what happened, and I know how it started. So, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, that's why they're on the list. Alright, number 9, Black Widow. Now, what can I say about Black Widow except that she's probably the most kick-butt assassin that I've ever seen in the Marvel Universe. And Scarlett Johansson, oh my gosh, she plays Black Widow so perfectly. It's like she is Black Widow. When someone becomes attached to a role like that, they become that person. Like, she is Black Widow. And I just love her personality, especially the way she flirted with Hulk in Age of Ultron. It was just so hilarious. I never expected that to happen, but Black Widow, she has it all. She has it all. Next, number 8, Vision. Now, before I was first introduced to Vision when I first started watch this TV show called Avengers United We Stand, even though that show was like probably the worst Avengers TV show ever, and trust me, it was. That was like the first ever time I saw the Vision. And then when I saw Vision in Age of Ultron, I'm like, wow. And from then on, I said this to myself in the theater. I'm like, that's it. Vision is just been added to my favorite Avenger list. Just from that. And he's been my favorite ever since I watched Age of Ultron. He's been like my favorite Avenger. He's always been one of my favorites. But yeah. Next is Iron Man. Now, people might hate me for this. I don't know, because they might hate me for Iron Man being so low on the list, but I love Iron Man. Like, that whole array of suits, just every suit has a particular attribute, has a particular skill, especially with them introducing the Hulkbuster in Age of Ultron. That was probably the best cinematic use of the Hulkbuster armor ever. Like, it was just so amazing. When I first got introduced to Iron Man in well, yes, when the films came out, but also in the cartoons, like his animated series that he had, and how he also guest starred in SpiderMan the animated series. So I never knew how much suits he had, but overall he became one of my favorites, and I wish I had one of them suits. Mostly the only suit I would use would be the War Machine armor. That's enough said. Next is Captain America. Now, Cap is very particular Avenger favorite of mine. He's strong, he's strong-hearted, he fights for truth, justice, America. He's a Boy Scout, pretty much. It's in his name. So who wouldn't want to follow a Boy Scout? And of course, there's a reason why I put Captain America above Iron Man, because Captain America is gonna win the Civil War. Trust and believe me, he's gonna win that fight. I got introduced to Captain America in SpiderMan the animated series because I never knew like how old or popular the character was, and then when I looked back through history, like he's been out he before Marvel was even called Marvel Comics. Him, Iron Man, Hulk. I mean, not him. Well, Captain America was like one of the front starters, one of the front starters for the Avengers. But yeah, Captain America, he's always had a soft spot in my heart. Next, Hawkeye. Now, I fell in love with Hawkeye once I started watching Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. One, because that's probably the best Avengers TV show I ever watched in my mind. And between you and me, I don't know which suit of Hawkeye's I like more. His original purple costume or his regular shield costume with his shades and everything. But overall, I loved Hawkeye. I prefer him better than Green Arrow, and I'm being completely honest. Hawkeye is a better archer than Green Arrow. Don't tell anybody I said that. But Hawkeye he's been totally amazing, and I'm happy that they gave him a life outside of the Avengers in Age of Ultron, because I never knew he had a family. I knew in the comics he had a love interest with Bobby. I don't know her last name, but most people know her as Mockingbird for those who watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But yeah, Hawkeye, he brings it. He brings it hard. Next, Wolverine. Now, some people may be shocked, but yes, Wolverine was an Avenger. Majority of people might not notice Wolverine he joined the Avengers when the new Avengers started. He's been there with Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Thing, Thor, and Wolverine's one of my favorite X-Men characters. He's not like my number one, but he's like one of my all-time favorites. But yeah, Wolverine is, and I wish they did not kill him off in the Marvel Comics. But of course, right now X-23 is the current Wolverine, so we'll leave that off to her. And who knows, maybe X-23 may join the Avengers someday in the future. But yeah, Wolverine brings it, and step away from me, bub. Alright, next. Number 3. Spider-Man. Now, of course, everyone knows Spider-Man is my all-time number 1 Marvel superhero. But I had to put him at number 3 because there's other Avengers that I have favoritism of over Spidey. But Spider-Man has been my favorite Marvel superhero, ever since I first started watching his TV show, and from the movies, the video games, the comics. He's been just my all-time favorite. And plus the wide array of suits that he had, like the the symbiote suit, the Future Foundation suit, the 2099 suit. And then when I found out like about this whole universe of Spideys, I'm like, wow. Like the first time I ever heard like there was another Spider-Man besides Peter Parker was 2099. That was like the first alternate Spider-Man I ever heard about, which was like amazing. No, I'm wrong. Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker. But just to see like a whole array of Spideys, it was just like, this is amazing. This is just beautiful. I love this. All right, number 2, Black Panther. Now, I love Black Panther, and I fell in love with him when I first watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes, because that's when I was first introduced to him. And I never knew how tech savvy he was, because I thought he was just, this, African American prince or king now. I thought he was just this African American king that has a whole gold mine of vibranium in his country, but I never knew how smart of a character he was. His aspects, his connection with technology, and his relationship with the other Avengers, it was just so awesome and amazing. And I feel like I connected with him a lot more. So, Black Panther is my number 2. Now, before I tell you who my number 1 Avenger is, let's go through some honorable mentions. Falcon, I know there were so many Avengers I wanted to put on this list. Falcon was one of them I wanted to put on, but I couldn't. But overall, I love Falcon. I love him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he's one strong bird. And of course now he's the now Captain America. So that's even better. So next honorable mention, Captain Marvel. Not the female Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. And because I loved her as Ms. Marvel, and now she became the new Captain Marvel. I mostly enjoyed her as Ms. Marvel more, but her being Captain Marvel I kind of grown on, and she deserves an honorable mention. Plus, she's a very, very popular Avenger. Next, the Thing. Now, the Thing is actually one of my favorite Fantastic Four members, and plus, I just love his all-time phrase, "It's clobbering time!" And it's just, most people say he's not, like, worth of an Avenger to root for, but to me, he is. So, Ben Grimm has a strong spot in my heart. Next, honorable mention, Ant-Man / Giant Man, or should I say, or Ant-Man / Giant Man. Hank Pym, the Hank Pym version. Scott Lang is okay, but I mostly enjoy Hank Pym, and plus, Hank is one of the original Avengers. He's the ones that started the team anyway. So Hank has a honorable mention as well. Next, the God of Thunder, Thor. Now, I'm not of a huge Thor fan, but like when he's in the Avengers, I just love it. But I'm not that interested in Thor. But he deserves an honorable mention. Plus, he's one of the first Avengers, and plus, I wish I was worthy enough to lift Mjolnir. Trust me. Next, honorable mention, Wasp. Now, I feel like she's a character that's not worth much because all she can do is just shrink and just use her stingers, but she's one of the first, and she's a worthy amount of character. She's been around for like a long time. And yeah, so that's why Wasp is part of the honorable mentions. Next, Daredevil. Yes, some people may not know that Daredevil was an Avenger, but yes, he was. And that's the cool thing about, and plus, I just love his title, the Man Without Fear. That's saying something. And for a guy that wants to bring justice to a city, Daredevil is the guy. And the last honorable mention, War Machine. Now, War Machine he's been my favorite ever since I watched Iron Man 2. Even though some people say that movie was bad, but I enjoyed War Machine ever since. Don Cheadle plays the role perfectly. And just look at that suit. It's just it's like a one-man army machine. Just look at it. That's why it's one of my favorite Iron Man suits. War Machine definitely deserves an honorable mention. And now, my number one Avenger of all time is Hulk Smash! That's why, okay, now, let me just say why Hulk is my number one Avenger. One, green is my favorite color. I know that's saying something, but another reason, he's the Hulk. Just look at him. Look, Hulk is like probably the strongest heroes in the Marvel Universe. The more you fight him, the more angrier he gets. And the more angrier he gets, the stronger he gets in a fight. He's the freaking Hulk. Sometimes I wish I actually had Hulk strength, even though it's like overboard. But Hulk strength is probably the one thing I wish I had. That's from that super jump, that thunderclap, that roar he does. It's just everything. Even though I wouldn't want gamma radiation flowing through my veins, but Hulk, of course, is my number one Avenger, and that's pretty much it. And he's the Hulk. That's all I gotta say. So anyway, that's my top 10 Avengers. Who are your top 10 Avengers? Leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, I am Vengeance, I am Darkness, I am Blackwood. Stay golden.